What is happening, everybody? MG here. MG Covers, bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video is How to Handicap Major League Baseball. 3 simple concepts. Today is opening day for Major League Baseball for 2022. Going to give you 3 simple concepts to focus on. Before we do that, as always, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel, liking the video if it provides you some value. If you want to follow me on social media, MG Covers, cover spelled with a Z. Give out a ton of content for free on Instagram, specifically my storyline. So if you follow me there, get a ton of value simply by following me. All right, we're going to dive right into it. The very first concept we're going to talk about in Major League Baseball is line movement. It is paramount to include line movement in your handicapping for Major League Baseball. I wouldn't exclusively just build a model around line movement, and what I mean by that would be if your stat model has a play on a team and then the line movement agrees with that play or that play for your model, then that would be a green light. So let's look at this example. This was from May the 1st of last year, Miami and Washington. You can see here what I like to look at is where that line started for the day. This line opens at minus 125 for Washington, plus 105 for Miami. And you can see it goes all the way, pretty aggressive line movement from the beginning at minus 125 that morning, and it had already gotten to minus 150 by 9 o'clock. So clearly moving in the direction of Washington. It goes back down to 140. I think this game probably went off at 1 o'clock and then ends up closing at minus 150. So a clear indication that this line movement favored Washington here, and actually had a little bit of reverse line movement, meaning the majority of tickets were on Miami, but the line moves in favor of Washington. And we actually look at this game here. Washington won that game 7-2. So what I mean is, if your model had Washington as the favorite, you had value off of that minus 148. Line movement confirmed that. Then, of course, that would have been a pretty good play. All right, let's take a look at another example. This was from the same day, May 1st, Mets in Philadelphia. I don't really have the actual opening day. I have this, opening line. I have it from around 240. What I call a line peaking is where it, I can't remember exactly where the line started out. Then it peaked at plus 113 Mets. And you can see now it's starting to go in the other direction. Got down to minus 102 at 440 and eventually closed at minus 110. So I did mention this on the other game. So a 25-cent line move is a pretty significant line move. If you're just looking, let's say a line goes from minus 104, if you're just looking at the distance between minus 104 to minus 110, that's only a 6-cent line move. That's not significant. But when you look at the line had peaked at plus 113, moved all the way to minus 110, that's actually a 23-cent line move, 13 points down to plus 100, and then another 110, another 10 points to minus 110. So this line movement clearly favors the Mets here. And we look at the actual example. Mets won this one 5-4 and only had to lay minus 104. So one concept is focusing on the line movements. Paramount. I wouldn't handicap any games in Major League Baseball without factoring in line movement. All right, now next concept is pitching. And if you're new to Major League Baseball, when you see a line for Major League Baseball, they will list the starting pitcher for that game because the impact has a lot of impact on the game because the starting pitchers are going to pitch about 6 innings. And that brings me to this point. They're only pitching 6 innings average, and the game is 9 innings. I know that seems elementary, but that's just a common fact. So my point is what you'll see a lot of times in Major League Baseball is that starting pitching is extremely overvalued. Now it's important. I didn't say it was not important. I'm just saying that it's overvalued. So what I want to do is I want to show you, like if you look at Adam Wainwright, he had 32 starts here. He pitched 206 innings. So we take 206 divided by 32 starts. He was averaging 6 innings a game. Let's look at Garrett Cole here. Had 30 starts, 181 innings pitched, 181. This is year-to-date stats from last year divided by 30, 6 innings. So your starting pitcher, even if they're good, they're only pitching 6 innings. So what you will see in a lot of games is that starting pitching will be overvalued even when they're playing a good hitting team. So if you have a good starting pitcher, like say Garrett Cole, Scherzer, even Max Fried for the Braves, even when they're playing a good hitting team, the line will usually be shaded towards the better pitcher. What I mean by that was there'll be more emphasis on that line placed on the good pitcher. So what you'll see is a scenario like this here. This was from September 7th of last year. Toronto was playing New York Yankees. Garrett Cole was on the mound for this game. Toronto was plus 210 and actually won 5-1. So I'm not saying fade good starting pitching. I'm simply saying that when you have a good starting pitcher that's playing a really good hitting team, the AL East was really good last year. Had a lot of good teams. Tampa Bay, Toronto, Yankees, a lot of good teams in AL East last year. So when you have a good starting pitching like you did for the Yankees, they'll overvalue the starting pitching and undervalue the team. So you'll find a lot of scenarios where advantageous to simply fade at good pitching if they're playing a good hitting team like Toronto was. And Toronto won that one 5-1, cash in at plus 210. Okay, now let's look at the third concept to focus on is overall current form. I've said this many times if you watch my videos, the best indication of future performance is most recent performance. What I mean by that, the way the public will look at this game, this was from September 11th of last year. Texas on the year was 51-89. They are perceived as a, quote, bad team. Oakland is perceived as the better team than Texas. And so the line will reflect that. However, look at this. This was Oakland last 10 games. Again, depending on how you want to structure a model, you can focus on the last 5 games, last 10 games, but year-to-date stats in a long season like hockey, baseball, basketball does you no good. The best indication of what's going to happen in that next game is most recent stats, either the last 5 games, last 10 games. We'll kind of look at both. So Oakland was playing good. They'd won 3 of their last 5 games, 3 in a row, but they had only won 5 of their last 10. Let's take a look at Texas. Texas was playing really well. Good baseball. They had won 4 out of their last 5 and 6 out of their last 10. So if you know the concept I teach, this was basically what I would consider a 50-50 game. However, look what the line was. The line was minus 200 Oakland, and Texas was getting plus 182, had a big inning there in the 8th, and actually won that game. So that's an example of a 50-50 game. So again, just to review this, number one, you want to focus on line movement. Make sure that the team you're considering has line movement at least neutral or moving in your direction. Also realize too that you'll see good pitching will be overvalued than good hitting. So if you have a good pitcher, good hitting team, definitely potential play on the good hitting team. And then finally, you want to focus on teams that are perceived to be bad but playing in really, really good form. So hopefully that helps. If you want access to my power rankings, we'll have them up for Major League Baseball after about 10 games. You get access to that, $49.95 per month. You not only get access to Major League Baseball power rankings, you get access to all my coaching videos. I've made 3 really solid videos here in the last week related to building stat models for MLB. You'll have access to all of those coaching videos. If you want access to all my plays, $99 per month. And if you join for an entire year, you get access to everything on the site. Save about $600 on a year. That's the best investment, $499 for the entire year. Hope you like this video, and good luck this year wagering on Major League Baseball. Peace.